What's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing super well today. Welcome to this week's show, Ask Ricky Live. This week, we're going to be discussing the power of circle prospecting. I'm super excited about this week's episode because circle prospecting is how I built my business to 100 properties a year, 100 closings per year for the last 4 years. Since 2014, I've sold over 100 properties a year as a single agent, and I've done it all via circle prospecting. Of course, I've been at it since 2002, and I went through the market crash, but I eventually figured it out, and I figured out that circle prospecting is the best path to long-term business and also to secure your business through a market crash. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. If you guys have any questions on Facebook or Instagram, just type it in. I'll be glad to answer. All right, we're back. So hold on one second. Let me make sure we're live on Facebook, and then I'll get started. Hope you guys are doing super well today. What's up, man? I see you there. All right. We are live. What's up, man? I see you there. All right. Cool. So, like I said, guys, I am super excited about this week's show. The power of circle prospecting, man. I want to really get in there and, tell you guys my side of it, for what it is, for what it's worth. It's how I built my entire business. I don't do for sale by owners. I don't do expireds. I don't do internet leads. Now, with that being said, I do want to say that I'm okay with it if you do for sale by owners, if you do expired listings, if you do internet leads. I'm okay with that because, everybody does it differently. And what works for some people doesn't work for everybody. So you have to find your own way in this business, right? So one thing that I think trumps over everything, and that is absolutely essential in any real estate business, regardless of how you do your business, I think it's the ability to not go after the deal, but go after the relationship. I think that, what's up, Tony? I think that, I think too many agents are being trained nowadays to be very high pressure. You have all the objection handlers. You're going for the kill. You're going to get them to sign the line. You're going for the closing. You're going to make a deal happen, a transaction. That's the only thing in your sights is a transaction. I think that regardless of what direction you go in your business, expires, for sale by owners, internet leads, whatever it is, I believe that relationships trump everything in every situation. So the 0 to diamond system that I teach is not just circle prospecting. That's not what this is all about. This is about how do you develop and maintain relationships with property owners. Or if you're a buyer's agent, if you're more of a buyer's agent, hey, it can work for that as well. I can teach you how to develop relationships with buyers for the long term. It's the same principles, right? So, let's see. I've got a question here from Robert. He's asking me about what I use to get numbers. Red X. I've said it a million times. Red X is the best way to do it. So, guys, feel free to chime in and ask me questions. That's what this is all about. I'm going to go on a rant about circle prospecting, why I feel like it's so powerful, why I feel like it'll carry you long term, and why it will carry you through a market crash. And that's really what you want to set yourself up for. You don't want to set yourself up for when the market crashes, you crash, right? So if you're watching this on the replay, or on Instagram, and you want to join the group and tune in live, each week I do this, You can join the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Diamond Agents. We're running close to 4,000 agents right now and growing, and we'll be glad to have you. There's a lot of networking going on. It's all focused around circle prospecting for the long term, right? But at the same time, it's not just that. If you want to go in other areas, there's plenty of motivation within the group to help you go whatever direction you want to go in. So let's see. I've got a couple questions I'm going to go ahead and answer, and then I'm going to get into, the real depths of the circle prospecting theories that I have and that I've developed over the years. Phyllis asked me, when someone doesn't have email, do you add to a monthly mailer? Yes. If somebody doesn't have an email, I'll just put them on my postcard database, but most everybody has an email, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'll put them on my postcard database or my mail out database and just let it ride and just keep moving forward. So everything, guys, is moving forward. Very, very seldom do I go back, to check on stuff that might have happened or something. I'll follow up. I'm a monster when it comes to following up. If somebody's talking about buying or selling in the near future or past clients, I stay in very close touch with those people. But it's a snowball, and you get your snowball pushing downhill and it grows, and you just get to a point where you have so much going on you can't look back. You've got to keep moving forward. Silas says, do I circle prospect a specific price point or range? Yes, I'm going to look at my local MLS and I'm going to figure out what properties are selling the best, what properties have the best turnover. And I'm going to target those type of properties. Whatever's hot in my market, whatever's selling the most, the most transactions for the highest price, that's where I'm going to be. Maybe there's more transactions in your market between 2 and 300, 250, 275, 225. That's where I'm going to be if I'm in your market. Maybe it's 4 to 500. Maybe it's 1 to 200. You have to study your market, your local MLS, and figure out where the sweet spot is. I talk about the sweet spot in my second book, List to Last. That's where the money's at. You got to master the sweet spot of your market. So, all right, cool. Let's see. Carol says, I just finished my calls. Had one guy asking me all kinds of personal questions. Bizarre. Yeah, sometimes that happens, Carol. Sometimes, you run into some weird characters. You do what you can. If you feel like it's a really weird situation, you just kind of really brush it off and move on. But you're going to run into some weird characters from time to time, and that's fine. That's part of it. Let's see. Elise. All right, so real quick, I wanted to show you guys some stuff. This is Ronnie Hale. He says, this is my thoughts. You're about the only person I have had contact with that truly wants to help people. A lot of people want to tell you to call for sell by owners and expireds and pay them $1,000 a month. So I thought that was really nice of Ronnie to say. I'm getting all kinds of stuff like this. This is something from Betty, who's in the program. She says, Ricky, I'm so grateful that God has led me to you. I think I briefly noticed a post on Lab Coat Agents. I searched for you and found an interview on Pat Hyden's website. I listened to some of your videos and checked out your website. It took me a few weeks before deciding to join your coaching program. I'm so glad I did. I've had coaches before, but nothing like this. It's stuff like that, guys, that really humbles me to no degree. It really just hits me hard that people reach out to me and tell me how much I'm helping them and inspiring them and motivating them and giving them direction. The whole thing about Zero to Diamond is this. There's so much garbage training out there for real estate agents. Zero to Diamond is created to give you true direction, okay? And the direction is to circle prospect and to create lifelong relationships with property owners, okay? So I wrote a blog last night. It's called The Power of Circle Prospecting. I'll probably post it on the group here in a little while. But in it, I kind of came up with my definition of circle prospecting, which is calling a targeted group of owners that own a niche type of property, informing them of some sort of market information, right, with the goal of obtaining a lifelong relationship with them. Okay, so I'm taking property owners that own the type niche property that I want to sell. I'm targeting a subdivision or a complex. I'm calling them to inform them of some sort of market information, and then asking them if there's anything that I can do for them, and which I'm trying to see if they want to buy or sell anything in the near future. And if not, then I want to establish a relationship with them for the future. So think about it like this. You know, if you talk to, let's say you actually talk to 100 people, okay, and let's say out of that 100 people, normally less than 1% of people want to buy something or sell something right now. Okay, so let's say that less than 1 is actually 1%, hypothetically, and you get that, you talk to 100 people, you find one person that wants to buy or sell right now, and you do a deal, right? Good job, you did that deal. Okay, so, but here's where the magic happens, right? Out of the 99 other people that didn't want to do a deal right now, that's where all the money's at. That's where all the magic happens with ZTD, with the Zero to Diamond coaching system. Let's just throw a hypothetical number out there. Let's say 30%. 30% of the 100 people that you talk to, and this is hypothetical because different markets have different things going on. So I can't just say this is exactly it, but let's just say 30%. It's a big number. But let's say 30% like you as a person. They like you enough to do a deal with you. They're just not ready to do a deal right now. Right? So out of those people, you know, they like you, they trust you, they're willing to give you their information and allow you to stay in touch with them, right? So if you get the one deal, right, and then if you establish the relationships and put a system in place to maintain the relationships with the other 30 people for the future, that's where you win. That's where you get to 100 deals a year. That's where all the magic happens, okay? And it doesn't seem like a whole lot in the beginning. It doesn't seem, because you make all these calls and you get one deal and you got some email addresses and you think, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just kind of wading in the water. I'm just running in place. But you got to understand the power of compounding. When you compound little efforts over time, they end up being huge. If you establish 2 relationships a day, 5 days a week, that's 10, 40. We're talking about 500 people in a year, right? Property owners, 1,000 in 2 years. That's being very low. I mean, if you're making 102 calls a day, look on the group, look at the results. There's a lot of people who are establishing 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 relationships per day with property owners. You add those up over time, sure, they're not buying anything today, but you add that up over time, look at what you've got. I mean, it's so powerful, okay? And the beauty of it is you can live off of that less than 1% who are ready to do something today. That one person out of the 100, that's a deal. Boom. You do the deal, you get a paycheck, you survive. You keep calling, you build up this database that goes like this of owners that want to do business in the future, and then you got the deals that are actually happening for you. They're going like this. You know, you're not getting as many, but you're piling up future deals while you're getting a couple of deals for now. If you look at real estate, it's so progressive. It takes so long to become a master, to do 100 deals a year, to make $1 million in a year, all that stuff. It takes so long. You guys are overestimating what you can do in the matter of a couple weeks or a couple months, and you're underestimating what your abilities are to produce over the next 2 or 3 years. Once I figured out how to sell real estate, it took me another 6 years of working 14 hours a day to get to 100 deals a year. So it's just not easy. And I don't want you guys to think it's easy. It's difficult. I mean, everything you do that's worth doing is going to be hard, right? But what I bring to the table is direction, establishing relationships with people. Now, I want to compare, let's say, circle prospecting with internet leads. I want to compare, circle prospecting to internet leads and kind of see what you guys think about this. Internet leads, you're paying for the leads, right? I know big teams. I know some big, huge. There's a Remax team that did $7 million last year. I think they have 30 people on their team, and they spent $1 million last year on internet leads. $80,000 a month. So the way that I see that is if the market crashes, the buyer leads are going to dry up. If your business is completely focused on, internet leads and buyer leads, when the market crashes, the buyers are going to scatter, right? There's just going to be very few. But you're still going to have overhead. Lots of overhead. You're going to kind of fall on your face if you're totally dependent on internet leads, I think. And there's a lot of agents out there like this. I think that it's a good chance that you could fall on your face. Okay, but if you build your business focused on long-term relationships with property owners, you build that database up and up. You don't really have any overhead to get these leads. You're paying for a dialer, and you're paying for maybe something to send your email out. You're paying a couple $100 a month, something like that. Maybe you're paying another couple $100 with postcards and mail outs. So very, very minimal compared to online leads. Depending on what level of online leads you buy, there's different packages. But even if you have a small package of internet leads, say $300 a month, say you're spending $500 a month on growing your database full of property owners. Well, when the market crashes, you're going to have all these relationships already in place, ready for the market to crash. When the market crashes, you're going to reach back out to all of your relationships with property owners and see if they want to buy because it's so cheap, if they need to sell because they're in trouble, or if they're just going to hang on and ride it out. Also, during that time, of course, as a side note, you're going to, as all the other realtors are leaving the business, you're going to dive in and grab more market share. Write this down, guys. Market share in real estate is based on how many relationships that you have with property owners in your market. To me, that's the definition of market share. How many relationships do you have in place with property owners of the area? That's market share. That's true market share. It's not how many closings you had or how many listings you have. I think that you can look at it that way. And sure, that's fine to look at it that way and to see where you stand as far as that's concerned. But what's more important? How many transactions you did this year, or how many relationships you have for future deals and referrals later? If I had the choice between doing 100 deals this year and having 0 relationships or minimal relationships, or having 200 relationships or 300 relationships with property owners, deep relationships, right? I could start at 0 this year, have 300 relationships. I'm going to start killing it. The guy that did 100 transactions that isn't relationship minded, he's not trying to deepen the relationships. He's not trying to, stay in touch with his past clients and go over the top. He just kind of does the deal and moves on and doesn't look back. I'm gonna crush that guy over time. It's like top producers. Like if you have a top producer in your area, you can take a look at them and pay close attention and figure out exactly what kind of agent they are. Do they care about their clients? Or are they on top because they're just really good businessmen and really shrewd? Or are they there because they've grown such a big clientele based on how they treat people? You really can reverse engineer the top producers in your area to figure out a game plan to crush them, right? So let me check my feed and see what we got going on. Phyllis said, me too, had a coach that paid a lot, could only email her. That was basic coaching. Got so much from your program, was paying a lot for leads too. Hey, if you guys don't get anything out of me except for keep your overhead low and concentrate on property owners, then that's a win for me. Todd says, always make sure you know ahead of time if there are any people you're calling already have their home on the market. Lesson learned. I like that. I like that point. As you're circle prospecting, if you run into people who have their properties already listed with another agency, or something like that, and you call them and it kind of catches you off guard, you didn't realize that the property owner had their property listed with another agency. That's okay. Listen, guys, there's always going to be something that trips you up. There's always going to be something in the way that catches you off guard that you don't, it makes you uncomfortable. You didn't know what to say and all that stuff. Be ready for that kind of stuff in the sense that that it might happen at any moment, and just be ready to kind of slide past it. Like if I accidentally call a property owner whose property is listed with another agent, I'm saying, okay, I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize it was for sale. What property is it? Okay, cool. Well, look, I'm selling all kinds of properties, or I work with a lot of buyers, so I'm going to keep your property in mind. You're working with an awesome agent. You're in good hands. Have a good day. I'm going to slide out of it. And then if that agent calls me and wants to get mad at me, I'm going to say, look, man, I was talking you up. It was a mistake. I was talking you up. And by the way, I'm going to keep it in mind. I'm going to keep your property in mind for other buyers. Okay? So here's the other side of that. If the agent that called you up and got mad at you, that's very unprofessional. That's very trying to belittle you, trying to make you look dumb, trying to make you feel stupid. That's not professional. That's not the way you treat local agents. Local agents are just as or more important than your clients. They're the ones representing the buyers and sellers that are working with your clients. Okay? Very, very important to have a very close-knit relationship with your local agents. If they're calling you up mad, that's kind of silly because they're burning a bridge with you. They don't know you. If they're calling you up and getting mad, if they knew you, they probably would have called and said, hey, man, But they're calling up getting mad, so they don't know who you are. They don't know that you might be the next superstar in the area, or that you might be the one that they need to come to a year down the road for some property that their client wants. They don't know any of that. You don't know what the future holds. Don't burn your bridges. Don't be like that agent. If that agent, Todd, got mad at you, don't be like that agent. Don't even call. That's one thing. Don't even call the agent that called your client. Keep moving. Do deals. But if you feel like you do need to, just say, hey, my client told me that you called. I didn't know what it was all about. Do you have a buyer? Is there something I can do for you? Be polite. Be nice. Don't be unprofessional. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if the owner got mad at you or if the agent got mad at you, but either way it goes, be professional in every single situation. Be polite, be nice under every circumstance. Never shy away from being professional with everybody, especially local agents. You need them. Okay. So what's up? What's up, Sandra? Nice to have you. She's here for the first time. We're talking about circle prospecting, which is how I've built my business. Long story short, I've been in business for 15 years. I went through the crash. I lost everything. I learned that circle prospecting was the way to go. And since 2014, I've sold 100 properties a year, every year since, as a single agent. I'm closing on number 99 for the year tomorrow. It's been a week or two since I had a closing, which is weird. But tomorrow I'm closing on 99, and then I'm closing on like 5 properties next week. So I have 11 lined up for September. So September is going to be very nice. I'll be at like 110 properties closed by the end of the month. So I'll be well over 900,000 gross commissions for the year. So I'm knocking on millions door. I'm going to do a big party. It's probably going to be around my wedding in the Bahamas next month. If this storm doesn't blow it away, but I think it's fine. I think the Bahamas is set up for hurricanes and all that. My heart does go out to the Texas Hurricane Harvey victims, and also I'm praying for Florida with Irma coming through, that there's very little damage and that everybody comes out all right on that one. So I'll be thinking about everybody on that. Let's see. Jason Ellis, what's up? Hey, Pettigay. Yeah, guys, so you guys can ask me any question you want to. I just went on a rant about circle prospecting. Here's the real power of circle prospecting. Like, if I had to just lay it all out in one sentence, why I think that it's the best. Number one, let me define why property owners are the highest quality prospect in any market. Not internet leads, not for sale by owners, not expireds. Circle prospecting property owners. They're the highest quality prospect because, number one, they're not getting bombarded by any other agents, or very little, as opposed to for sale by owners and expireds who are getting called by every single realtor in the universe, because that's all the training that's out there right now. All the training out there is focused around call for sale by owners and expireds and say this and high pressure sell them to sign the deal with you. That's not how I roll. I want to talk to people who are not getting bombarded by agents. I want to develop a lifelong relationship with those people, right, for all kinds of future deals and referrals. Not only that, but I may get a deal now if I'm calling enough of them. So as I'm building my database for the future, I'm also doing deals on the side, okay? So the reason I think circle prospecting is so powerful is because I'm calling property owners who are the highest quality prospect in any market, because they can buy or sell, right? I'm calling them for dual purpose. They can buy or sell. They're not just a buyer, and I'm not calling them with the mindset that I'm just trying to get a listing. I'm calling them to be their real estate agent, regardless if they want to buy or sell. So it's a dual purpose. So the reason, like I say, most powerful avenue in real estate is circle prospecting is because at the end of the day, when you built this huge database full of property owners who know you, love you, want you to be their agent, so on and so forth. When you built this database, at the end of the day, when the market crashes, you have all the most valuable clientele in the market, and you have the lowest overhead. You have all the most powerful, the highest quality prospects, the highest quality clientele, the most important people in the market, the property owners. You have all of those in your back pocket as your clients that you're staying in touch with the lowest overhead. You don't have much overhead, right? So it's the most efficient way because it's the highest quality business with the lowest overhead. I ask everybody when I do speeches, I'll ask the question, what classifies a prospect to be a high quality prospect? And everybody will raise their hand and they'll say, okay, to be pre-qualified, or because they're motivated, or, that they trust you, or, that they're a referral, or whatever the case may be, right? Well, to me, the highest quality prospect is a prospect that you make the most amount of money in the least amount of time. You make the most money in the least amount of time. I'm looking for efficiency. If I'm going to scale my business to 100 properties a year, if I want to make $1 million a year in real estate, then I have to be as most efficient as possible. I'm a single agent, right? I don't have a team. I have one assistant, and that's it. So if I can make $1 million, 1.1, 1.2 million a year as a single agent, right? And I'm growing my business and I'm developing relationships directly with my clients. See, to me, teams, you refer your clients to your teammates. They develop the relationships. You don't really have a relationship. Your team member does. So, when things really go bad, you're kind of in limbo. But if you're a single agent, you have the direct relationships with the owners yourself. You're the ones talking to them. You're the ones directing them, advising them, consulting them. When the market goes south, you're still going to be the one right there with those clients, helping them through the crash. Do they want to buy because it's so cheap? Do they want to sell because they have to, because they're in trouble? Or are they just going to hold on and ride it out? Either way it goes, all the other agents are leaving the business. And it's leaving all this business for the people that are going to stay there. When the market crashes, guys, you guys just stay with me. Stay with me through the crash, and I'll show you and I'll teach you exactly how to navigate the waters. Because I've been there. I went through the crash in the late 2000s. I lost everything I had. And I learned that was the period of the most personal growth in my life. And, it's very simple. Real estate's very simple. The way that you do this is very simple. The hard part is implementing it for years and years and decades and decades. And that's what I'm good at. I'm good at just sticking in there and being a machine and never quitting, and I just keep going and going and going. It's like this coaching business. I could have quit this a long time ago. This is not paying me anything, right? But I'm still here. I'm still doing it because I know that I'm helping people. And I know that one day it's going to be huge. So why not? What else am I going to do? So let's see what questions I got here. Todd said just the owner was mad at him for calling and that they were listed with another agent. Let them be mad. You did what you could do to be professional and be nice. So just let them be mad. They want to be mad for no reason. Same thing. Like if the owner's mad at you, they're not doing a good job at marketing their house. If they're getting mad at a real estate agent, you could have their buyer and they're getting mad at you for calling them accidentally. So how professional is that? It's not smart to me. If I were them, I would say, don't worry about it. Yeah, if you have a buyer, let us know. We're trying to sell. We're motivated, I think that's silly, but the bottom line is, Todd, is that's going to happen. People are going to get mad at you. Just keep moving. If any of you guys that are on my coaching program that saw the videos of me making cold calls, you'll see that there's people that hang up on me, the people that are too busy for me, people that, I don't know if anybody straight up get mad, but it happens. And it's just part of it. And I just go on to the next one. And the next call, they're nice, and they give me their email, and now we're friends forever, and we're going to do deals. So, Matt Baker, first-time viewer. I guess he's trying to say he's selling $4 million. So congrats, Matt, and thank you for tuning in for the first time. $4 million's awesome, man. Way to go. Lisa says, hey, Ricky, appreciate you. I appreciate you, Lisa. David Carroll says, at what point did you notice that your database started producing? How many months, years in? Immediately. As I'm making my calls, I'm looking for business today. I'm trying to build my pipeline for the future, but I'm going to do deals on the side. Like my main focus is relationships for the future, but in doing that, you run into all kinds of deals today. Like I said, less than 1% of people that you talk to. What's up, Daniel? I see you there. Less than 1% of the people that you talk to do a deal today. Less than 1%. So maybe you have to call 200, 300 people before you run into a deal. 400 people, whatever it is. But you're going to do that deal. You can call 400 people in a matter of 2 or 3 or 4 days, easy in today's dialing world system. And dialing system, all the dialers out there. So if you make all those calls, if it takes you a week to call 400 people, you do a deal, or 500 people, you do a deal, boom, you did a deal that week. If you do 1 deal a week, that's 4 a month. I can live off 4 deals a month. And the other side of that is I'm building a database. I'm probably out of 500, out of 2,000 people that month I talk to, I probably got, 50 to 100 people who like me and said that they would do a deal with me later on. That they would call me when the time came. So to be honest with you, David, immediately, I'm looking for deals. Everything I do is revert around doing a deal. And then if that doesn't work out, then I go for the relationship. Pettigay says, so true about the relationships. I've heard team leaders say they lose relationships because of funneling to team members. I'm telling you guys, when you build a team and you start referring people to your teammates, that's great. You're making money and stuff. I don't know how much, but you can do a lot of deals and say that you sold all this property, but your teammate's the one that has the relationship, if they even have the relationship. The client might have got mad at you for sending them to somebody else and didn't like the whole situation. They might have done 1 deal, but they'll never do a deal with you again because they just know you're going to send them to somebody else and that you don't truly care about them, or you don't seem like you care about them because you just referred them over. So I'm not against the team thing. Listen, in this world, there's salesmen and there's managers. I'm a salesperson. I love dealing with clients. I like the people. And I believe that it's the best way to survive market crashes too, to have the relationships in your back pocket. But outside of that, I just love dealing with people. Other people are managers, which end up being brokers or team leaders. Those people do very well. There's plenty of brokers that do very well. There's plenty of team leaders that do very well. I'm not going against the grain here. I'm just giving you guys my opinion. I'm relationship-based, not transaction-based. I want relationships. I want to help people for the future, and I want to multiply the deals that I do with everybody I meet. So Sylvania says, thank you so much for your valuable time for wanting to help others. Thank you so much. Ray says, do I have a daily contact goal? What is contact defined if they hang up while you're pitching? What we normally do, Ray, is just dials, like how many dials. 100 dials a day is perfect. If you can do that every day, you'll probably talk to 20 people. You might create a relationship with 5 of those people. If you do that every day, in a year, 2 years, 3 years, you are the number 1 agent in your area. Period. If you do that over the course of 3-4 years, you are the number 1 agent in your area, right? But day to day, it doesn't seem like you're doing a whole lot or that you're making a big difference. All right, day to day seems like you're not getting much very far. But if you implement a system, if you use my phone scripts and implement my system of staying in touch with people, your business, you will be the number 1 agent in your area if you do what I'm telling you to do. Kelly Lee says she's new to our ZTD coaching program. She's super pumped. We're glad to have you, Kelly. I'm excited too. Just to let you guys know, kind of a side note, we are up to 75 coaching members in our program. We have a private Facebook group that we're sharing all kinds of information in. And it's very exciting because we're going to hit 100 soon, and then 200, 300, 400, 1,000, 2,000. Also, guys, if you're with RE/MAX and you're in the Kansas City area, I will be there doing a speech at the Tech and Touch on October 24th. So if you're with RE/MAX, you're in the Kansas City area or anywhere close to there, and you can make it to the Tech and Touch October 24th, I will be there. I'll be glad to meet with you. Billy Hale asked me, how do I cross-reference the contact's email address with Facebook to see if they're in Facebook so you can target ads? Go to your ad manager, get your list of your emails of all your clients, and go to create a custom audience. And then plug all the email addresses in. When you create a custom audience, name the audience, and then put the emails in there, and then hit go. And then Facebook will take, an hour or something to go through all those emails and see which emails line up with the profile. And then it will create the custom audience for you in your whenever you do an ad. It'll ask you what audience you want to use, and then you can select that audience and start running ads to that audience. So absolutely. I do that. I have a huge database, 7,600 clients in a targeted custom audience on Facebook that I run ads to that are clients of property owners in my area. Matt Baker says, is it more powerful to circle prospect door to door, especially about a listing of your own? I mean, Matt, that's one of those debates because I like door to door. I mean, you're getting FaceTime with the people. I'm just a prospecting guy. I like the phone. I feel like I can sit in the office and talk to more people, but I could be wrong there because I've heard people that door knock that do talk to a lot of people. So I don't have a lot of experience door knocking because I've always focused on the phone. So I'm not really the best to answer that question, but I think do both. I think that if you really want to take it to another level, right? Don't question yourself. Do both. Pull them up, circle prospect the neighborhood, and go door knock, or go door knock and then come to the office and circle prospect the neighborhood. Do both because you'll probably catch some people on the phone that you didn't catch at the door, and vice versa. So my thoughts are do both and go hard. Todd says, if you have multiple numbers for one lead and you've already left them a voicemail, do you call the other number? Yeah, go ahead, man, because the first number, I don't know where you got the numbers from. If they're both good numbers, yeah, call them both. Don't leave a message on the other phone, I guess, if you don't want to. I would leave messages on both because they might pick up on the other number, right? So I would call both and leave messages on both. It lets them know that you're working, Jason Ellis, man. Jason, where are you, man? Are you up in the Kansas City area? Jason says he's going to see me in Kansas City. I can't wait, man. Looking forward to meeting you. Ronnie Hale says, I love all this good info. I learn something every time I listen to you. Ronnie, let us know what you learned today. Let me know what your big takeaway was today. So, guys, like I said, today was a very special episode for me. I built my entire business on circle prospecting. So it's kind of like dear to my heart and stuff. But like I said, I'm not opposed to any of it. I think if you're really good at for sale by owners, and you feel like that's getting you where you need to be, go. Expireds, go. Internet leads, go. But I think it's good to have a really sharp perception of all the different avenues of how to acquire business in real estate. I study all the time. I read all the time. I'm always trying to figure out what the next thing is and what am I missing something? Is there something better? Especially when it comes in terms of how to reach out to targeted property owners. That's why I love direct mail so much and phone calls. But to be honest with you guys, every single closing comes from a conversation that was converted into a relationship. I mean, think about that for a second. There's not a single closing that came from you not talking to someone. There has to be a conversation. That's why technology has not replaced real estate agents yet, because conversation has to be had. The local markets are too different to figure it out. You have to have a local expert help you, consult you, navigate through the market, advise you on what to do, what not to do, what price, what to offer, how to do everything. Every market is so different. You have to, as a customer, as a buyer or seller, you have to have an agent for the most part. Some of them try to do it themselves. Some of them are successful with selling it themselves, and that's fine. But most people don't want to deal with, they're not savvy enough. They don't have enough business sense. They don't, when they start negotiating, they'll just give it away, or they might pay too much. They need a professional realtor to help them negotiate the deal, find them the correct property, and go through the process of closing. I mean, dude, there's so many intricate parts of a deal that only us as realtors are really, we're working full time to go through that process for people every single day. So, let's see. Jason's in Kansas City. Boy, man, I can't wait to see you. Okay, Ronnie said about the Facebook targeted ads. Yeah, it's powerful, man, because you can make that custom audience on Facebook with your clients and then run ads directly to your clients, where when they're looking on their news feed on Facebook, they'll see your face. They'll see whatever you posted or whatever information you're trying to pay for them to see. Ronnie says, you tap people who are in your sphere, then on Facebook, hey, I'm still here. Yeah, exactly. It's people that I've already touched, that already know me very, very well, and then they're scrolling through Facebook, and boom, they see me there. So just to make it clear, guys, I don't do Facebook ads to get leads. What's right? I get 0 leads from Facebook. Everything is focused around on Facebook. It's focused on building my brand. I just want people to see my name. I want people to see that I'm working. I want people to see that I'm selling properties. I want people to see that I'm producing market information for the public to see. I want them to see that I'm rating restaurants and I'm talking about the weather, and then I'm an information provider. Guys, I've said this before, but for the first-time listeners, listen here. You are an information provider first and a realtor second. Your job is to provide free information to the world about your area and about the market on a large scale, right? And then you want to be everybody's best friend that just happens to be a real estate agent. You have to be super likable. People don't choose a real estate agent because how many properties they sold or how great of an agent they are. Any agent can do any of this. Put stuff on MLS, show you property. They choose you because they like you and you stuck with them. So it's very simple. It's just hard to implement. And it takes time to build the relationships that you need. It takes time to figure out who you need to have the relationships with. And that's why I'm here. I'm trying to fast track you guys to success by letting you know who you need to have the relationships with. It's the property owners. They can buy, they can sell, they know other property owners. What better prospect than a property owner? If you guys know a better prospect than a property owner, please comment below. I would love to hear your theory on what a higher quality prospect than a property owner is. Let's see here. Carol says, well, thank you, Ricky Carruth. I'm making my calls, getting emails, sending reports, farming my farm. You have given me a level of comfort. Come on. I can't see the all. There it is. You have given me a level of comfort in spite of all the hang-ups and the weirdos. Definitely out of my comfort zone. LOL. Running open houses in a kick-butt condo for the next 3 weeks. So very appreciate your efforts to help direct us in our business. I just want to help you guys. That's the only reason I'm here. So, what's up, Albert? I see you. Guys, I guess, let me know if you guys have any further questions. I think I drove home a lot of the points I wanted to drive home today with you guys. This was so much fun. I love doing this. I love getting the questions. I can't wait to get to Kansas City and do my big speech there. It's actually, I don't know if Jason's still on the feed, but I'm going to be talking about overcoming your fear of cold calls. It's going to be about overcoming your fears of making cold calls. That's going to be my entire spiel up in Kansas City, so I'm looking forward to that. If you guys haven't checked out my second book, List to Last, How to Survive Every Real Estate Market Crash, it's available on Amazon. I'm in the middle of doing the audio version of it myself, as everyone has asked me to do. I let somebody else do the first one, and it was okay. The guy was pretty good, but everybody wants to hear me do it. So I'm working on it. It's tough, but I'm working through it. I'm going to get it done. So I'm looking forward to getting that done for you guys too. JJ Arant. Hope you're doing well, JJ. She says, how do you choose an area to circle prospect? Well, what you do is you have to study your market, study your MLS, look for what I call the sweet spot in the market, which is where are most of the sales happening? Are they happening between 200,000 and 300,000, 300,000 and 400,000? 2 to 400? Are they single-family homes? Are they condos? Are they land? Where is the sweet spot in the market where most of the transactions are happening at the highest possible price? That's how you choose who you're going to call when you're circle prospecting. Is you want to figure out what type of property that you want to become a specialist in, and then you want to turn around and find a neighborhood or a complex that fits that criteria, and then boom, there you go. You're going to go to town. You are going to go to town, and you're going to own that subdivision. You're going to talk to every single owner, and you're going to develop lifelong relationships with the property owners. That means forever, guys. We're going to be best friends forever with all the property owners. This is how you build a huge business. Betty says, I think you were going to talk about voicemail messages. Hey, Betty, yeah, that was actually on the group coaching call that we did. Basically on voicemails, I always leave one. I'll just say, this is Ricky, give me a ring back, da-da-da-da-da. I don't get too fancy with my voicemails. My voicemails, I think, are designed more for brand recognition, where when they hear the voicemail, they hear my name and company, and that helps me build my brand. Whenever they call you back, most of the time they didn't even listen to the message. They just saw the missed call and called you back. So definitely Definitely leave voicemails every single time. If you want to leave a detailed message about, hey, I'm calling you about this certain property, da 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 da, that's fine too. To me, there's not really a rule on voicemails, except for that you need to leave one every time. Carol says, how do you segment emails from different contact projects and constant contacts? Whenever you go to your contacts, and there's a little button there, you can create a new folder, which would be another group of contacts, and then you can put all of those contacts in that folder. And you can start separating them that way, and you actually move contacts from folder to folder. If you already have a big folder, you want to start moving some of those over to the new folder you just made, you can do that. Hey, Matt Baker, yeah. It's RedX. RedX is where I make all my calls, and I look up all the property owners, and then I use my phone scripts. Guys, if you're interested in my coaching program, it's $47 a month. You get all my phone scripts, 90-day action plan, jumpstart, videos of me making cold calls, full access to me, and you become a member of the private Facebook group where we're always doing cool stuff and networking with other people that are in the coaching program. So it's a lot of value for a little bit of money. And also, guys, when you're picking a coach, why not pick a coach who has done what you want to do or is currently doing what you want to do? I'm out there trying to get listings and sales just like you guys every day. The only difference is I've been doing it for so long, and I've figured out a system to doing it on a very high level, and I want to share that with you guys. So to me, I would want a coach that's actually doing what I want to do, not somebody who used to do what I want to do or never did what I want to do, which is what most of the coaches out there are. On top of that, they want you to spend $1,000 a month. It's crazy. They want you to spend $1,000 a month so that they can teach you how to call for sale by owners and expireds. That's BS. Why don't you get on a winning team, ZeroToDiamond.com, for $47 a month and let me teach you how to circle prospect so that you can have a huge business for the rest of your career. Pettigay says, what's your advice to work when you're sick? I've been having migraines but didn't want to lose the momentum I'm building by not making calls. Well, Pettigay, that's a tough one because depending on how sick you are and how you feel, that could really affect your calls. I mean, if you're not feeling good and you make calls, that people are going to hear that over the phone. They're going to hear your body language and that you're not feeling good, you feel kind of down. They're going to hear that even if you're trying to hide it, and you may not get great results. I think that you should, I don't know, I don't want to go too deep with personal stuff and all that, but going to the doctor, getting some medicine, trying to get healthy, I think should be maybe even your main concern, because you got to feel healthy. You got to feel good when you're making your calls so you can have the confidence, come out whenever you're talking to people. So I definitely think that you can make the calls if you want to, but I think that, I don't know if you're dehydrated or if there's some kind of medicine you can take to make yourself feel better and get over the migraines, but also, there are other things you can do. You can do your postcards, your weekly emails, your, setting up different things. But if it's going to go on for weeks, there's nothing you can do about it. You definitely can't lose momentum. And if you feel like making the calls, or if you feel up to it, maybe not 100%, make the calls. Todd Kaufman says, by far, the ZTD coaching program is the best money he's spent in this business. And Ronnie Hale says, amen, brother. Oh, man. So, like I said, guys, we dodged a bullet with Harvey. We're dodging a bullet with Irma. My heart goes out to the people in Texas. My heart goes out to the people in Florida. I wish everybody the best during this, storm that's coming through. I can't say how much that, that I hope everybody is well and that everything is going good for everyone in that aspect. Vic says, Ricky, you're the man. Oh, shit. There we go. So anyway, my heart goes out to everybody. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing coaching calls all morning with some coaching students, and then all afternoon I'm going to make phone calls. I'm going to be calling past clients, and I'm still going through a big list of past clients. I want to really reconnect with a lot of past clients I haven't talked to in a while. I'm closing on number 99 tomorrow for the year. Next week I have 5 closings, so you guys will definitely know when I hit 100 because it's going to be everywhere. But let's see. Pettigay says, I agree. The ZTD coaching program is definitely worth the cost. Thank you guys so much for co-signing for me on this coaching program. I haven't had one single person say anything bad about what I'm doing, that it doesn't work. Nobody has tried to call me out. Nobody has said anything negative about my books, my Facebook Live stuff, my videos, none of this stuff. It's crazy. Guys, also, if you would do me a favor and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's at youtube.com/Ricky Carruth, because I'm doing this show called The Daily Grind, which is a documentary of my life. I do 2 or 3 episodes a week where I have a videographer follow me around and documenting everything I do on a daily basis, and putting it on YouTube and editing it with video, with music and all kinds of. It's really awesome. So subscribe there for me. But at the end of the day, guys, to me, I don't want anything from you guys except for you guys to succeed, to take what I'm teaching you and go and run with it and make it happen. So I don't see any more questions. I want to thank everybody for tuning in this week. Next week, we're going to have another amazing show. Reach out to me. I'm your coach. I want to help you. Anything I can do to help you, any questions you have, feel free to reach out to me. I'm like an open book. I'm really easy to approach. You can ask anybody. I always answer my phone, or I'll call you right back. I answer emails, messages, texts. Anything you shoot at me, I'm going to take care of you. So you guys have a good rest of the week. I want you to kill it Friday, just like I'm going to do. And I'll be working all weekend here and there as well. So Blake's over here laughing like he thinks I'm not going to be working or something.
I know you're going to be.
But we'll see you guys real soon. Give me a shout. I love you guys.